those ones.
Do you want to see the blemishes?
It didn't flash. I'm going to see you in a few weeks. Yeah, we're just going on another holiday.
Right, so we're on the way to Auckland after saying goodbye with Charlie's mom, yeah. So it's gonna be a while until we see your mom, actually, your family, actually, yeah. And yeah, it's gonna be long day trip to Auckland, around 4 or 5 hours, actually, yeah.
4 hours.
4 hours,
hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully, okay. So, how do you feel? Sad?
I've stopped crying finally, but only because I'm just pretending that I'm just gonna see them next week. I can't think about it. Can't think about it.
And yeah, we're having 3 days in Auckland. 1 whole day shopping for my families. Probably I'm gonna buy some bag for my mom and some stuff for my dad as well, actually, yeah. And some little stuff need to be done in Auckland, like passport photo, and we're gonna see some friends as well there, actually, yeah. And yeah, it's gonna be tough and busy day in the last 3 days, but fingers crossed everything's alright and everything's fine.
Okay, we're here in our duck masks, doing last day shopping, getting something for Agung's mum.
Yes.
So you reckon she needs a nice bag?
Yeah.
Handbag.
Just cheap one. Good enough.
Yeah, good luck in New Zealand.
Checking front.
Is your mum a girly girl?
Ah,
Or is she
cool girl.
Cool girl.
Cool girl.
Alright.
29.
No, this one. Not my style, but your mum. What do you
Beautiful.
think?
And beautiful price.
Yeah.
We're gonna pick this one, okay?
Alright. So this is my least favourite part. The whole thing is getting organised. It's such a mess. We've got loads of stuff to take because we're going to be living in Sumatra. So we've got all the stuff that you don't need to think about if you're just going for a trip. So in a minute we're going to tell you all our top tips for some stuff that you need to bring if you're going on holiday to Sumatra. Some stuff you might not have thought about, and until then I think you should just leave. I'm so embarrassed of this mess. Go away and we'll come back soon with the tip. I got everything. Ready. Okay, so obviously you're going to decide yourself what clothes you need to bring, swimming suit, hats and stuff like that. That's all normal. This is stuff that we kind of think is the most important, that if you don't bring it you might regret it.
Yes.
Okay, let's start with a backpack. This Old Faithful, I've had it for like 6 or 7 years, so I recommend backpack over a suitcase. You can get by with a suitcase depending on where you're going, but if you're going to be catching buses and walking around the street looking for cheap accommodation, 100% need a backpack. There's not like so many good footpaths in many places, even in Medan. Okay, footwear. Often if you're going hiking, you think you're going to need this big old hiking boots, right? Wrong. Totally wrong. You want something lightweight, non-slip, waterproof, because you're going to be like walking through rivers and puddles and dirty. Yeah, if you're going to jump. So 100% some cheap jandals. You can get them there, but bring them. A couple of pairs. Going jungle trekking. What do you used to wear?
We use shoes. Usually we call rubber shoes, which is cheap and simple and easy.
Jungle Nike.
Okay, jungle
That
Nike. Yes, you can get pretty much anywhere in shop in Sumatra.
If you do want some shoes before you go, so you don't have to go looking for Jungle Nikes, I'll show you in the next screen. Yeah? What? The ones that I used to get, which I love, and they were awesome, but I lost them.
Next.
Okay, it rains a lot. In Sumatra, even in dry season, you might get caught out, so essential. Dry bags, different size dry bags for your camera, for your whatever, your phone, for your clothes.
Okay, next. Money. We pretty much need money before we get to Indonesia, probably for pay your driver, or not many people use e-post or whatever you say. We just use cash.
You'll be alright, like at the airport and probably in Medan, in the mall kind of situation. There'll be places that use Visa cards.
Yes.
But as soon as you get out of the city, it's going to be 100% cash.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can totally get cash out there, depending on where you go. But the most maximum you can get is usually like 2 million rupiah, which is $200. That
New Zealand dollar.
not gonna last. So try and get some rupiah before you go.
Next.
I'm kind of an anxious traveller, so I tend to over prepare, but I still recommend anybody travelling anywhere brings a basic first aid kit. Especially if you're going to small villages, going jungle trekking, you never know when you're going to need a plaster or something like that.
Next, technical stuff. Especially if you guys are using iPhone product or something like that, Apple. So it's quite hard to find Apple products in Sumatra unless if you go to big mall, then fingers crossed you can find them. But so I recommend that you guys bring this iPhone, like your charger or your
and a spare one.
Just bring it.
Yeah.
And also power banks, because common says we have dead light, mati lampu or light off. Power cut. This
is like a spare Mac, my MacBook Air, because when we were living in Gili, the cat that we were looking after chewed through my MacBook cable and I was working. I have spare cables. You might not need them, but if you're like digital nomad, bring some spare cables just in case. Do you want to talk about girly products or shall I do it?
Can do it. Go for it.
Okay, if you have a uterus and you need to use these products, I recommend bringing them with you because you can get pads over there quite easily, but they're not have the best range and they're quite expensive. And tampons are quite hard to find, so if you use those, bring them. But also bear in mind that where you are, there's not easy way to dispose of stuff like that. They don't have rubbish pickup in many places, so I would recommend being eco-friendly and bring like period undies or something recyclable or a moon cup, something like that. Way easier, you don't have to deal with worrying about where you're going to throw out your stuff.
And sunblock. I don't need it, but I'm pretty much I'm pretty much you guys need it because Sumatra is quite hot, around 28 during the day. I guess it's 28, 29, 30 sometimes.
Yeah.
So and then it's quite hard to find these things in Sumatra, maybe in the city. But if you in the small village, it's quite hard
and it's expensive.
Money. Boom.
Okay. So speaking of mosquito, we don't have mosquito stuff, but bring some with you. You can get it really everywhere there, but if you don't want to be shopping around looking for stuff, bring some really good quality mosquito stuff because they're everywhere. Mosquito spray is really good for leeches.
Oh yes, and while we're talking about leech, I saw so many people come to Sumatra, they bring leech socks. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, leech socks.
Leech socks, which I think you don't need to bring that.
And they kind of work, but leeches aren't that bad. You're only going to have them if you're kind of rural in the jungle, or just rely on mosquito repellent. The guides can give you secret tips on how to get rid of leeches if you have them.
Yes.
Don't worry about them. They don't even hurt. They're kind of cute. Leech, traffic, rush hour.
Run.
That's not cute. It's
leeches.
annoying.
They're annoying, but
so annoying.
fine. Imodium. When it comes to medications, I tend to be a bit paranoid, but you can get most everything you need, even in smaller, it's called apotek, is what they call pharmacies. You can get stuff there, but the one thing I never travel without is Imodium, which is anti-diarrheal. Barley belly, beware of that wherever you're traveling, and bring yourself just a little packet of Imodium in case you need to get on a bus and you can't stop going to the toilet. Handy tip. Hi everyone, it's like 10 o'clock at night, the day before we take our flight, and we're both like
super tired.
a bit tired.
I know.
So we're going to end the video here, but next time you hear from us, we will be in Medan in Sumatra. So
I know.
Can't wait to see you all then
Yeah.
on the other side.
Yeah, so don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, bro, guys, whatever, okay?
Yes, and if you need more tips about travelling Sumatra, don't forget to head over to our blog, exploringsumatra.com.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Lots of good info on there.
Alright,
Okay,
good.
see you there.